It's the true life story of a group of elite former military operatives stationed at a secret CIA base in Benghazi the night militants attacked. Tonight, the movie version of events already triggering fresh controversy from Hollywood to Washington and out on the campaign trail. And depending on whom you ask, it's either a tale of extraordinary heroics or another round of political crossfire.
Compound in Benghazi.
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 It's a word that seems inescapable.
Benghazi, Libya.
All because of what happened in this fiery compound on September 11th, 2012, when armed al-Sharia militants stormed a diplomatic compound, then a nearby CIA annex. 4 Americans slaughtered, including Ambassador Chris Stevens. Mark Geist, known as Oz, was one of 6 former elite military operatives who fought back that night.
We knew that to get out of there, we're going to have to depend on each other, kill them before they kill you.
Former Army Ranger Chris Parento, a.k.a. Tonto, was also there.
That night was completely chaotic, and it wasn't just a simple couple firefights and we got home.
And tonight, director Michael Bay releases 13 Hours,
How many?
the so-called secret soldiers of Benghazi's version of what happened.
This was a really heroic night, really heroic. I never knew that until I read the book and talked to these guys.
In real life, the tragedy triggered massive investigations. At its core, questions of insufficient security and what then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton did or didn't know about what sparked the onslaught.
What difference at this point does it make? It is our job to figure out what happened and do everything we can to prevent it from ever happening again, Senator.
It's already reigniting a firestorm in the midst of a heated presidential race. At last night's debate, Republicans pounced on Clinton.
And someone who lies to the families of those 4 victims in Benghazi can never be president of the United States.
13 hours. Tomorrow morning, a new movie will debut about the incredible bravery of the men fighting for their lives in Benghazi and the politicians that abandoned them.
A lot of Hillary Clinton's enemies use this and hold her accountable. Do you hold her accountable in this?
You know who I hold accountable is Ansar al-Sharia. That's who attacked him. That's who killed the ambassador.
John Krasinski plays one of the contractors guarding the CIA annex when the diplomatic compound a mile away came under attack.
Does it concern you at all that this might be used as fodder on one side or the other?
It doesn't worry me because it's going to be used one way or another. For me, the most important thing that I hope people are surprised by is how little, if any, politics are involved in the movie.
We need immediate assistance. We are overrun.
Oz, Tonto, and John Tegan are now coming out of the shadows after writing the book on which the movie is based. Hired to guard the CIA annex, they receive a call at 9:42 p.m. from the diplomatic compound a mile away. Ambassador Stevens needed help.
If you do not get here soon, we are all gonna die.
Listen up. None of you have to go. We are the only help they have.
The men immediately gear up, raring to race to the rescue.
2 vehicles station ready. Let's go. Move, move.
But the CIA base chief in the movie version tries to delay them.
Losing the initiative.
Stand down!
There are congressional reports that suggest that that didn't happen. What do you say to that?
I didn't see him sit next to me when they told to stand down.
So the CIA base chief said to you what?
He said, stand down, you need to wait.
And he told me to wait twice. So we can get into semantics, but stand down was said.
What did it cost?
It cost the lives of Sean Smith and Ambassador Stevens.
Tonight, the CIA calling the claims in the movie shameful, a distortion of the events, and denied any stand-down order. The base chief told the Washington Post that at no time did I ever second-guess that the team would depart. The men say the crucial delay crippled their rescue mission. By the time they got there, extremists had set fire to the residence, with the ambassador inside.
Hey, we're coming in. We're on property.
Tell me about going into a burning building.
It's extreme, intense heat, just so hot. I mean, you instantly start sweating. The smoke's so thick and black.
Tig suffered lung damage, repeatedly diving back into the black smoke and flames. The team can't locate Ambassador Stevens. Eventually, they return to defend the CIA annex, where they encounter repeated heavy weapons fire.
A lot of people misunderstand contractors. They think they're either adrenaline junkies or they're mercenaries out for money.
We are going to give our lives for others if you need us to do it. We're going to do it. That's how we're raised.
And highly trained, but even elite fighters focused on combat have a human side.
I haven't thought about my family once tonight. What would they say about me? He died in a place he didn't need to be, in a country that meant nothing to him.
When you're dedicated enough to become a Navy SEAL, you do make that promise to them that you will always be there for your brothers. You've also made the same exact promise to your family. What a juxtaposition to be in.
The men take to the rooftops, holding off the militants until one final deadly barrage.
Chief, are we expecting any friendlies?
I am not aware of any friendlies.
One of the most brutal, obviously, was when the mortar fire hit and your arm was badly mangled.
I start firing and I change magazines, and as I'm coming back up, that's when the first mortar hits the roof and takes out my arm.
You continue to try to fight with your arm badly mangled.
Yeah.
By dawn, Ambassador Stevens is pronounced dead of smoke inhalation, and former Navy SEAL Tyrone Woods and former Marine Glenn Doherty have both been killed in action. But the team has managed to rescue about 30 other CIA workers. The State Department later admits the Benghazi outpost was woefully undersecured. And though her name isn't even mentioned in the movie, it was Hillary Clinton who was grilled by Congress for 11 hours.
I've lost more sleep than all of you put together. I have been racking my brain about what more could have been done.
As for the Defense Department, in the movie, the CIA base repeatedly requests military firepower.
If you don't send our support, Americans are going to die, including the one talking to you right now.
Later, congressional investigations conclude that while fighter jets and tactical teams were scrambled from the nearest bases, they were too far away to get there in time.
Do you feel like the military let you down?
We don't want to get into that. We want to tell what happened on the ground and really honor the courage that was taking place.
You still have shrapnel in your body, don't you?
Yeah, I've got 3 pieces in there. And then
14 surgeries later, Oz is still feeling the effects of that night.
I've got limited feeling in the palm of my hand, and I don't have much dexterity with it, but I mean, it's attached and it works.
Director Michael Bay, known for Transformers and Armageddon, says he was drawn to the story of unsung heroes.
Here's the extraordinary thing about this story. They did not have to go that night. When they heard the RPGs and they heard the AK fire, they volunteered. They were all going home to their families in a week.
The stadium premiere with 30,000 fans, benefiting groups like the Shadow Warriors Project, providing medical care for wounded contractors.
Once we get injured or we're out of country, we get no more pay. I got a lot of lung damage when I was over there and trying to get care through the workman's comp. It just wasn't working.
What would you say to the critics who think that you're politically motivated?
That's the problem. We as a country have gotten so politicized or so polarized. This, I think, is something that was done right down the middle. You got honor, you got integrity, you got courage. That's what we need, and I hope people come to see this for, is to bring it back to the center.
Something perhaps folks on both sides of the aisle can agree on.